And I want to share this because I think many of us need to hear it as young people who are on the internet. You don't know who's watching you, good or bad. Could be future employers, could be future parents-in-law, could be a future spouse, could be people who hate you, who wish ill towards you, could be people who love you, could be people who are obsessed with you, who you're not safe around. You don't know. So you need to be intentional about what you post, and not everybody needs to have access. Yeah, I didn't even know that I felt all that until I started verbalizing it. Let's just get right into it. I always had this internal conflict of whether or not I should post or even like create the A Week in My Life vlogs that I did last year. Even as I was filming it, that's why lots of the clips I'm always asking, like, I don't even know if I should do this. I don't even know if I should do this. And there was always something weird. I definitely justified it in saying, okay, whatever I feel is too much or too personal, whatever, I'm not even going to put in there. And even as I was filming, things that were too deep, I did not put in there. I didn't film anything that I knew I wouldn't be comfortable posting, but there were still moments where I was like, this isn't sitting right. And even with that, I knew I could just not include it in that final edit. And there are things that I have left out. But something is still not sitting right with my spirit. I kind of got into it in a video that will come out on the 28th. I kind of got into that a bit more later on in the video. I think the main reason is because it's just a misrepresentation of who I am. Now, that was who I was at that time. I had fun filming it. Like, I found purpose in recording what I was going through because I felt like, okay, I'm doing this and building towards something. Like, it's going to become part of a bigger art piece. Like, just seeing things in perspective really helps you when you're going through a situation. Some pieces of art are meant to be created but not shared. And the methodology, what's it called? The methodology, girl, let's look up this word. The methodology, there we go, of creating the art piece and coming up with it, that itself, the process is the art. The process of it makes it meaningful. So for my own sake, I will still go through with that process, but I may or may not share it. The whole point of that series was to bring it back to glorifying God and saying, like, even though that year was tough, there were blessings along the way that God put so that I would have hope and have joy and have purpose. But something, I don't know, guys. I don't know, something's just not sitting right with my spirit. Right now, what I feel is that there are eyes on me trying to see my character, trying to see what I represent as a person. So like I said, it's not an accurate representation of who I currently am. This was me last year. This was me at age 18 and 19. Like, the year has been long. Like, last year, it felt like 50 years. That year was long. The way that my mindset changed, the way that my perspective changed, the way of how I even talk changed, the way I viewed myself changed, the way I viewed life, so many things changed that if I were to post that, it's not an accurate reflection of who I am right now. And although that was part of the appeal, because it would feel like, okay, it's not invasive because it's not who I am now, it's misrepresenting who I am to, like I said before, those eyes that are on me trying to see my character. When it comes to your character, you have to be honest. Integrity is very important. You can't be shifty. You can't be deceptive. You can't be sneaky, because whatever you present will be considered the truth. As I'm editing this, I'm getting further explanations on why this is not sitting right with me. And I want to talk through it. I will just speak for young women because I'm a young woman. A lot of us, especially as young women, we have to recognize something. So I went to GYC beginning of this year, 2020, and I went to a seminar that likened relationships to the sanctuary as described in the Old Testament. I explained this actually in a sermon that I had preached. Guys, listen to me, guys. A sermon that I had preached, Mrs. In. Go watch it, I'll link it. But anyway, the sanctuary basically had the outer court, which had a gate surrounding everything. And then there was the holy place and most holy place, and those were like tucked away and not everybody could see it. Everybody could walk to the outer court and be in there, but there was only one gate. There's only one door that you could walk in and walk out. And you're not in there just chilling. You're there for a purpose, like to bring your sacrifice. You do what you need to do, and you did, right? How they liken that to relationships is like, be careful who you let into your outer court and which people get insight to your life. The outer court even had like a structure around it that you couldn't just see in. I've felt this pressure to be an open book when I actually shouldn't have it. With most humans, human interaction, you're not gonna just see them and know everything about them. That's not how that should be. Social media has made it normal to see every moment of people's lives. You see parts of them that if you knew them in real life, you wouldn't see that. Like people crying on their kitchen floor. We laugh about it, we make memes about it, but it's like in real life with no social media, you're not supposed to see those moments of somebody's life. If they choose to tell you about it, or if you witness it, you're usually a close friend, and there's usually a reason they're telling you, because you can comfort them, you can help them. You can't do that over the screen. So it does no good to you to watch somebody, I don't know, crying. Girl, no shade, but I'm just saying, like, it's things that I've been figuring out as I've grown up, and within my time on YouTube, it's things I've been figuring out. So I just feel like with the series that I did, the way that I was so proud of that thing, I was like, yo, I'm doing something new, something I never seen before. But the thing that wasn't sitting right was that there are moments there that I share that are not bad. It's not wrong, but it's just not for everybody to see. It's not for everybody to have access to. You don't need to see that in order to relate to somebody. You don't need to see that in order to get the message that I was trying to put across, which is that you're not alone. God will always be with you, sending good things to keep you going. And all the good messages that I had, I can portray that without letting people in further than they actually would realistically if I knew them in real life. Because guys, I have 600 people. 600 people. I don't have 600 fake accounts that I've subscribed to my channel. 600. Are 600 people supposed to see all that in your life? No. This is just like a process of growing up, and growing up in the social media age. Sometimes you just learn as you go. You see people doing things that may not necessarily be correct, but they succeed, and then you think, okay, it's normal. You see people not doing certain things, and then their growth seems to be stagnant in comparison to those who let people in even more. So you're like, okay, if I want to grow, I have to show. But it's like, no, you don't. Like, you need to keep some things private, and how you do that is by being intentional with what you share. Everything you share has a message. So if you focus on that, naturally you're not going to include things that divert from that message. The reason I'm even making this is because I did publish the first 2 episodes, and I promise at the end of the whole series, everything would have made sense and would have like just solidified that God is real. God is sending you things along the way to help you. Like, you're not alone. Even if you're struggling, you're not alone. You can get through it. Like, it was such a good moral of the story. But again, it's like, it's just going to give people the wrong idea. And not that everybody's opinion matters. Not that everybody needs to know the real me. But there's some important sets of eyes that are watching my channel to see my character. And for those for that person's sake, for those people's sake, I cannot mess this up. I can't afford it. So yeah, for now, like I said, thank you to everybody who was along with me for the journey, for those 2 episodes that were up. And this is not like intentional, like a burden or anything like, oh, I have to be perfect. It's just like, I have to think before I post. I have to think in the long term. Just also be intentional for yourself about the image that you are portraying and what you are representing, and everything that you are posting, even the friends you talk to. What are you saying? What type of vibe are you giving? Like, really, what energy are you bringing? And it's not in some necessarily spiritual way, but like, you have to be intentional about what you do. Boom. That's a word. That's a word on today. That's it. Like, we're just going to continue with regularly scheduled programming. I'm going to be giving more story times because I know you guys love those. I'm going to be doing a bunch of random videos. Until you guys comment and tell me what you want to see from me, I'm going to just do anything. You're going to absolutely just be like, what? Who did I subscribe to? Because I'm going to be just shaking it up. So until I see requests, if you guys have video requests of what you want to see, what made you subscribe, how you even found this channel, let me know and I'll stay true to that and see what I can do and work around that with my creativity as well, put a spin on it. I'm going to hopefully be doing some collabs coming up. So if you are a YouTuber and you do want to do a collab video, hit me up in my business email, like even if it's on Zoom or whatever the case is, pre-recording, whatever, we can iron out the details. I want to work on more content that fulfills the mission of this channel. I keep going back to that. I keep needing to remind myself of that, the mission of this channel, because it's not just for fun. It's not just to show everybody my life. It's not, you know, I know that it seems like, I don't know, there's just so many things, like different perceptions of people who start YouTube channels. It's like, you have to have a certain level of being comfortable with yourself in front of the camera, which could be interpreted as like self-centered or whatever. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's all about perception. Because I know I'm not a self-centered person. I know that everything I do it for fun. I know the spirit in which I do certain things, but I also recognize that it comes across a certain way. So I need to be intentional about making sure I'm portraying the correct things. I wouldn't say it's a burden because you can always do what you want in your own comfort of your own home. So yeah, I'm fine with just switching gears. Just so you know, that series is going to absolutely be removed from the internet. There's just something in my spirit that's just like, don't. So we just had to do like Bryson Tiller and all right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for bearing with me as I trial and error this entire channel. Definitely go check out some of my older videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.